and save places in the bookmark online for my 10-year-old to read about, to know that all things are possible, even from the dusty roads of Mississippi, making it a way to continue to fight for the state of Georgia. But not only the state of Georgia, but she's a friend to our country. She's a friend to our nation. She is a proven daughter. She's someone that we should all be proud to even be in her presence. She won't tell you these things because she's humble and because she is a servant leader. Not just a servant, but she knows when to make the call, who to make the call to, and how to answer the call. Will you all please welcome tonight none other than Miss Stacey Abrams.
Thank you so much. It is always a pleasure to be here in Henry County. I've been waiting for Carlotta to just rent me a house. Because I've been coming to Henry County for quite some time. I had the privilege of becoming minority leader in the Georgia House of Representatives in 2010 after the worst shellacking that Democrats had seen since, well, Reconstruction. After 130 years of power, Democrats started losing elections in 2002 when we lost the governor's race. See, somebody don't want me to tell the story. And then in 2004, we lost the Senate. In 2002, we lost the governor's race, and then we lost the Senate. 2004, we lost the House. I joined the House in 2006. And after 4 years of being in the House, I raised my hand after that November election when we lost the Senate to within 3 of a super minority, where the House wasn't that far away, where we lost every statewide election as Democrats. That was 2010. And so 2 weeks later, I raised my hand and said, hi, I'd like to be the leader. My argument was, look, I've been a minority for a very long time. I am really good at it. Because when you're used to having power, you're used to getting your way simply because you demand it. But when you come from the minority, you know how to find it. But you also know how to share it, because the only way to get from minority to majority is to add to your numbers. That's right. And in 2010, I looked around and I saw potential in the state of Georgia, but not just in the city of Atlanta, but I saw it in the collar counties. And so in 2011, when we were looking for races to run and ways to win after a terrible gerrymandering, I met my friend Carlotta. And she brought me to Henry County for the first time, and then the second time, and then the 12th time. Because she understood that it took time to get to where we needed to be. Henry County has been a patient county. And by 2016, after running races and after reaching out, we were able to do 2 amazing things in the state of Georgia. In 2016, we were able to flip Cobb County. And we flipped Gwinnett County. And we flipped Henry County in the state of Georgia. We flipped Henry County because we were patient. But we also flipped Henry County because we were unwilling to sit still and wait for power to come. We went out and found it. We knocked doors. Carlotta knows we knocked doors, and we made phone calls. We found Darius Patillo and got him to run for DA in Henry County and raised so much money, his opponent just dropped out of the race. Because we could see the future. And I'm going to correct my friend, Sheriff Scandrett, with one thing. He said he was the first African-American, but he's qualified. That Kamala Harris will be the first Black woman, the first South Asian woman, but she's qualified. No. You were first and you're qualified because you're qualified. She will win because she's qualified. Because she understands that when you've got to build power, you've got to bring people with you. She is running against a man who was born with privilege and has squandered that privilege and has become a puppet of that privilege. But we have the chance to show Georgia to show America that Henry County isn't done yet, that our story isn't written yet, that the chapters remain. But it's not enough to want it to be so. We've got to do the work to make it so. And we've got to have the reason to understand why it must be so. Project 2025 isn't just a playbook, it is a warning. There are 3 ways to the American dream in this country. Education, what you know, the economy, what you do, and elections, who is in charge. Yes. Well, they have told us what they want because we are the bedrock of voter suppression in the state because of their victories. They have already tried to stop us from going to school because of the Students for Fair Admissions decision. And they sued a black woman for trying to give money to black women when they sued the Fearless Fund, and they thought that it would cow us. They thought that it would crush us. They thought we would stop fighting, but instead we nominated Kamala Harris to be the next president of the United States of America because we know that we can get this done. Because the reality is, they've told us what they intend to do. They intend to dismantle and eliminate the Department of Education. They want to do that not just because they don't like bureaucracy, but because Title I funds that help lift poor children like Reginald Scandrett out from the depths and up to the tops and the heights that got me through Mississippi here to Georgia, from Spelman to Yale, that it was Title I, and they want to get rid of it because they're tired of competition. They want to block and eliminate 8A set-aside programs. They want to stop diversity money from going into small businesses because too many black women have been starting these businesses, and too many black men have been building these businesses, and too many women have been thriving in these businesses, and too many small businesses have been successful in this country. Yes. It's because they understand that competition breeds better. And they want to block the economy, but Kamala Harris has a plan for us. She has an opportunity agenda for us. She has a future waiting for us if we are willing to do the work to get there with her. That's why we need Kamala Harris. And when it comes to elections, she understands sharing power. You see, being in the minority, you learn that you can't get anywhere unless other folks come with you. And so while race and gender are indeed important parts of our story, we are better when we work together. And that is why she is willing to work and reach across the aisle and reach across the country and reach into the past, but also look for a future to get things done. She will protect our right to vote. She will pass and make certain she can sign the John Lewis Voter Advancement Law into law. She will protect the right to vote. She won't be one of those folks trying to lie about what happened and misrepresent. We need a president of the United States who actually loves the United States and the people in it, and that is Kamala Harris. When we wake up tomorrow, we've got 12 days to get good done. Yeah. There were 12 days of Christmas, and if we want the present at the end, we've got to work hard for the next 12 days. We've got to open that Advent calendar of justice, that Advent calendar of opportunity, that Advent calendar that tells us that we can get the present we deserve and build the future that we need. But it's on you. I'm the daughter of not one but 2 pastors, a double PK, terrible girl. But what I learned from my parents is that when you preach to the choir, you've got to not just read scripture, you've got to give directions. So I've got 3 things for you to do. Number 1, I need you to say verify. Say verify. Verify. You need to verify that you have a plan to vote. I saw a lot of hands go up, but a lot of hands didn't, and I was one of them. Because I'm voting tomorrow with my mother and my father and my older sister who just moved here from Kentucky, and we're going to show up at the polls, and we're going to show Georgia what we intend for this state. And I need you all to verify that you've got a plan to vote. I need you to verify that you have a plan to get good done, to bank your vote, so you've got time to do number 2. So number 1 is what? Verify. Number 2 is volunteer. Say volunteer. Volunteer. I know I am preaching to a choir volunteering, and I see the chair of the party back in the back clapping. But here's the thing. This doesn't happen by osmosis. Y'all are here because you knew you deserved to be here. But Henry County is full of folks who don't know they deserve to be here. They're not on the right lists. They don't get the right phone calls. My friend Gail Davenport can tell you they live on the roads where you hope the light doesn't change so you don't have to stop at that crossroads. But we've got to stop at those crossroads. We've got to go down those lanes. We've got to knock on those doors, and we've got to call those folks. And I need you all to volunteer tonight to get us to victory in 12 days. Say volunteer. Every day from now until election day, I need you to find 5 people in your contact list that are going to vote the right way. Be friends with everybody, but only call the 5 who are going to vote the right way.
Facts.
And I need you to call them and have them verify that they have a plan to vote. And if they tell you, well, I'm not going to vote because, well, I voted and it didn't work in 2016. No. That's like saying because the Falcons didn't win on Sunday, we're not going to watch football anymore. No, we keep playing. Even if the ref does a bad call, we keep playing because we deserve to win. And we aren't going to quit on ourselves if we're not going to quit on our team. We're going to do the work. When they tell you, well, I'm not into politics, you need to tell them politics is into you, and it is a stalker. And if you want the success that you imagine for your life, for your children, for your community, you've got to get into politics. Because the folks who are getting what they want, they've been into politics. They show up at every election. They vote up and all the way down the ballot, because you're not going to stop at the top. You're going to make sure that Sheriff Scandrett gets reelected in Henry County. You're going to vote for your state senators, and you're going to vote for your state representatives. We're going to go all the way to the bottom of the ballot, because that's where the fine print is.
Yes, it is.
But you're going to explain to them, you're going to connect the dots, because you're not going to lecture them about why they don't want to vote. You're going to ask them what they're afraid of. What pain do they feel? What worries do they have? Part of volunteering is being willing to listen to another person's story before you try to tell them your own. And so you're going to take the time to listen to their stories. And you're going to connect the dots. And if they're worried about health care, they need to know that we've got to have a president of the United States who will protect the Affordable Care Act, will protect Obamacare, will protect pre-existing conditions.
And won't try to kill it.
You will tell them that if they believe in a woman's right to choose, or hell, a woman's right to survive, that there is one man who has taken pride in killing women, in putting in place a court system that has led to the deaths of women, including here in the state of Georgia. Now, I know the governor would say, well, it's not that bad. She could have gotten help. She just got bad advice. Well, if the doctors don't understand what they can do, how was she supposed to? Amber Thurman's name has to be said out loud. Candy Miller's name has to be said out loud, because their lives matter. Their voices counted. And if we want to honor their memory, we will cast our ballots so women have the right to control their futures in the state of Georgia once again. The opportunity agenda that Kamala Harris has released that specifically talks about the needs of black men is not about pandering, and it's not about panic. It's about respect. Because she understands that every single segment of our community deserves to know that they are seen and they will be served. And so she didn't do what so many have done before and just lump everyone in and say, you figure out, get in where you fit in. She said, no, I'm going to call on you. And I'm going to start by telling you what I can do. But I can only do it if you show up and help me out. This was not about calling anyone out. It's about calling everyone in. And that's what this election is all about. We've had 4 years of trying to recover from 4 years of whatever that was. Someone who coasted on the victories of Barack Obama and the economy he built and managed to break it before we cast him out, and he's trying to come back. But Kamala Harris is not going to let that happen, but she needs us to call in and get her in so she can get us forward and move us to the next level. But we've got to be the ones to do this work. Senator Jones pointed out that Henry County managed to outdo itself in 2020. Well, I don't like to rest on laurels. No. And if you're in God's country, you need to be showing grace every single day. So you need to increase the numbers. Every day between now And November 5th, call 5 people, 5 different people. Because if this room called 5 people each day, texted 5 people each day, emailed 5 people each day, showed up and knocked doors each day, if we do that work here in Henry County, the stories will spread. And nearby counties will understand that they too can change the future. That they too understand that voting isn't magic, voting is medicine. That the ills we feel in this country, that the ills we feel in this state, that those ills can only be solved if we take the medicine, and sometimes it is bitter. Sometimes it makes us hurt worse than whatever ails us. But if we stop taking that medicine, whatever was wrong is coming back and it's bringing friends. Whatever is the cancer that we're worried about will metastasize. So we've got to be willing to push through the pain and the disappointment and the hurt and the times things haven't been exactly what we needed, because we only get what we want if we're willing to do the work. And that happens only if we volunteer. So number 1, we're going to do what? And secondly, we're going to volunteer. Because all of this is about the 3rd V, and that is called vote. Say vote. We are going to vote. I know you're going to cast ballots, but I need you to vote. Say vote. I need you to vote for a future that sees the potential in our children. Say vote. I need you to vote for a future that says our children will only meet Reginald Scandrett when they are shaking his hand crossing the stage, not crossing his threshold at the sheriff's office. Say vote. We want to vote for a future where we invest in the economy of Henry County, where we are not pulling money out trying to create fake cities because people don't want to have to live together. Say vote. We are going to do the work of changing the future of Georgia, but it starts in this election. It starts in 12 days. It starts the moment we do the work of doing what? We're going to what? We're going to do what? So we're first going to do what? We're going to verify. Then we're going to, and then we're going to, and if we verify, if we volunteer, if we vote, we will get victory. Let's get it done.
Put those signs in the air. Thank you.